Hello, let's start with RSS and its entry into politics. RSS as an organization entered into politics in 1950s, but it was largely due to the then prevailing circumstances. Actually, it was in the backdrop of Mahatma Gandhi's assassination on 30th January 1948 that the government crackdown on the RSS, especially RSS cadres were arrested. Somewhere around 20,000 RSS members were arrested, and a Nehru-led government uh, imposed a ban on the organization. Those were the circumstances that led to RSS enter into politics. What RSS realized, or Golwalkar realized at that time, was something called political marginalization. So, in the Nehru led Congress dominated India, RSS kind of felt political marginalization for the first time in the aftermath of Gandhi's assassination. So, what happened? Despite Golwalkar's initial reluctance towards political involvement, he ultimately endorsed the creation of a new political party in 1951. That was the time when RSS entered into politics. So recall, RSS was created in 1925. Prior to that, Hindu Mahasabha was created in 1915. Prior to that, Muslim League was created in 1906. So when RSS was created, it did not want to enter into politics. It wanted to remain a kind of socio-cultural organization with a mission to defend Hindus, to ensure domination of Hindus on Indian nation, or to adopt strategic emulation of RSS's adversaries, especially Christians and Muslims, all of that stuff. But now in 1950s, RSS decided to join politics. So a political party was created called Bharatiya Jansangh. So Golwalkar assigned several Parcharaks to help build this party, but he made sure that there should be a kind of a strict separation between RSS as an organization and Jansangh as a political entity. What happened for many years in the Congress dominated political system, because Congress was founded in 1885, and Congress inherited uh, its political or its electoral dominance from freedom struggle. So it was difficult for Bharatiya Jansangh to actually survive within this Congress system. On one hand, the ruling Congress party included many conservative figures, often referred to as Hindu traditionalists, like conservative elements in Nehru government. While they may not have openly opposed Nehru, they tacitly resisted his policies in the name of issues like cow protection or promotion of Hindi as the national language. So within the Congress, there used to be a group which actually used to raise issues which are close to RSS as an ideological organization. This effectively weakened the Johnson's position in public debates, particularly at the local level. On the other hand, India's leadership under both Nehru and his daughter Indira Gandhi uh, remained firmly secular. Okay, so because of secular ethos of Indian polity, it was difficult for Jansangh to actually chart out a political territory or an electoral territory in India. By the late 1960s, in an effort to gain broader political acceptance, Sangh chose to downplay some of its ideological ties to the RSS due to a particular reason. This shift aimed to build alliances with other opposition groups, including socialists, peasant parties, and factions that had split from Congress. For example, Congress organization. There was another Congress called Congress Indira or Congress Office, which emerged in 1969. The political emergency declared by Indira Gandhi in 1975 that remained in force till 1977 further accelerated this transformation. Eventually, what happened? Johnson decided to merge into broader anti-Congress coalition, the Janata Party, and ultimately Janata Party came into power in 1977, uh, led by Moraji Desai. So Moraji Desai got a chance to become the first non-Congress prime minister in India, and Janata Party became the first ruling party after the Congress in India. So it became the largest contributor of MPs to the new party. It means the Jansangh became the largest contributor of MPs to this new coalition called Janata Party. This strategy was a deliberate attempt to influence the political system from within. Okay, so let's influence the political system by being part of it. So the goal was to shape a new political culture that blended a more moderate version of Hindu nationalism with the traditionalist views of former Congress members. The influence of Hindu nationalism in the government was evident through three key legislative initiatives that reflected ideological themes inherited from the RSS. First, former members of the Jansangh supported a bill to prohibit cow slaughter. They introduced legislation to restrict religious conversions. The third thing they did is uh, the third major initiative they took is uh, they took was efforts to revise history textbooks. So first of all, cow slaughter, because Hindutva advocates accused minority communities, especially Muslims, of consuming beef, and religious convergence was a very emotional issue and very sentimental, very sensitive issue even today, even at that time. The reason being is the fact that uh, uh, advocates of Hindu nationalism they thought uh, we uh, that we may have demographic decline. So, although Christoph Jaffrelot argues that their concern was unfounded, unsubstantiated because of the data. So, you had 82% population in 1971, but it was slightly lesser than 84% in 51 and 83% in 1961. So, even in 1971, Hindus constituted 82.7%, almost 83% of total India's population. So no minority could have challenged the dominance of Hindu community. That is, I think, what Christoph Jaffrelot means over here. Okay, so these were three important issues former Jansangh members wanted to raise when they became part of Janata Party led by Moraji Desai. Another important development came in the form of Vishwa Hindu Parishad. So, an organization was created by advocates of Hindu nationalism, and we call it Vishwa Hindu Parishad. It was established with the goal of bringing together the leaders of various Hindu sects to create a unified religious authority. A unified religious authority. Unified is the key term over here. This initiative was inspired by the organizational structure of the International Christian Missionary Network, which RSS leaders viewed as highly effective. Concerned about the increasing influence of Christian proselytization, like Christians converting Hindus into Christianity, they sought to create a similar institutional framework for Hinduism, essentially, an organized religious body resembling a church. In 1979, the RSS expanded its network further with the creation of Seva Bharati, an organization aimed at addressing social inequalities, particularly untouchability, and providing assistance to impoverished communities. While Seva Bharati occasionally offers healthcare services, its primary focus is on education. Its mission aligns with that of Saraswati Shishu Mandir, a network of schools established in 1950 that promotes a sensitized and ideologically driven curriculum. By the 1970s, these schools were brought together under the umbrella of Vidya Bharati to consolidate their efforts in shaping Hindu nationalist education. Among the many affiliates of the RSS, one of the most prominent and influential is the Bajrang Dal. It was founded in 1980s as a youth wing under the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. This organization was tasked with providing security and at times acting as an aggressive force in Hindu nationalist mobilization efforts. By the 1950s, the growing number of affiliated organizations led to the conceptualization of Sangh Parivar. Despite their diverse areas of operation, all these affiliates remained closely linked through a shared cadre system. Because in all these affiliated organizations, RSS has got its dedicated parcharaks, and RSS tends to move them from one place to another place, just like it happens in bureaucracy. RSS trained members were frequently rotated between different organizations and regions. This system maintained ideological cohesion and reinforced the RSS's central authority over its vast network. So, one thing that unites all RSS cadres affiliates is the presence of dedicated parcharaks in all of them. These measures ultimately marginalized former Jansangh members within the Janata Party. So this has something to do when former Jansangh members within the Janata Party raised issues like cow slaughter, religious conversions, and they wanted to revise history textbooks. This actually led to their marginalization within the Janata Party. This marginalization served as a justification for their expulsion in 1980. Ultimately, BJP or the former Jansangh members broke away from the Janata Party and they created what we call today Bharatiya Janata Party with an active support of actually RSS, of course, and then Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Lal Krishna Advani. This setback prompted the RSS to rethink its political strategy. That's it. Thank you.